Hi guys, and welcome back to Passing Move. And for today's episode, we do have, as promised, the final against Italy at Wembley. I didn't realize it was actually at Wembley. I forgot that we're actually playing at home. So this is huge, huge. All right. Well, anyways, yeah. So we do have Italy, and as you can tell, we did play extra time. We beat Portugal on penalties. Something that really could have been avoided considering that we were winning at the 70th minute, but conceded at the very last minute basically. But yeah, we did manage to get into the final either way, so can't complain too much. But of course there are fitness issues, and that's basically why we're going with this team today. So Nathan Klein does get his spot back. Joe Hart, I figured this one more game, so even if players are tired, we'll just try and stick to the main team as much as possible. So Shawcross and Stones are back, even though they're kind of exhausted. Conditioning's not too bad, but it does say they need a good period of rest before this new season starts. But anyways, that's their club managers who have to deal with that. Shaw's back from suspension, which is great. We've only got one player missing entirely from the squad, so that's perfect. Dyer's exhausted and needs a long rest, but he's our best option. And also Ben Pearson's exhausted anyways, even worse. His conditioning's in a worse state. Lallana, also the same thing, needs a good period of rest. Lingard, same thing, needs a good period of rest. But again, the likes of Ward-Prowse. His conditioning is a bit better, but Lingard is a first teamer, of course, so we should stick with him. Dini beats Kane just because of his conditioning and fitness, and I want to save Kane for coming on for the last few minutes and winning the game kind of thing. Rashford's in better shape than Berahino, and of course he is the better player too. So Lewis Cook is the only player missing. Dele Alli's finally back from injury, but he is of course in horrible fitness and match sharpness. So I've definitely learned from my mistake, and I will never call up a player who's definitely missing out the whole tournament. I thought he'd make it back for the final. Kind of did, I suppose, if you want to call it that. Sorry about that. Yeah, so he definitely did make it back in time, technically, but will he be of any use is, yet to see. We can use him. But I'm going to try and avoid that. We can bring him on for Lallana, of course. He is the first choice, so maybe we'll bring him on in the same sense that we would with Kane in the last few moments of the game. So the question is, can we perform as well as we have in the past few games? I'm not sure if we're favourites for today's game. We'll find out. But in terms of national teams and their ability, I would say England and Italy are kind of close. But yeah, it says that Italy are favourites, but the odds expert thinks that the game will be very close and will likely come down to penalty. If we win the championship on penalties, that would be very surprising. But yeah, key man Daniel Rugani, that's fair enough. He is a world-class centre-back. He is a player who's with potential in the beginning of the game when you first start off. And of course now he's 25 years old and we are in 2020, we're no longer in 2016, 2017 kind of thing. But yeah, he's 36.5 million, that's his worth. He's on 120k and he's a key player for Juventus, so that's not a surprise. Our key man though will probably be Henderson again, I think. Oh, John Stones, okay, fair enough. He's not too bad either. So Kane, he could possibly sneak by into the goals scored. The shooting boots, I suppose. Paul Pogba not doing too poorly himself for France. But yeah, coming off the bench, that'd be surprised. So they've gone with Shaarawy, Belotti. Kind of surprising playing a winger in a striker position. Maybe he's playing there enough for his team. Florenzi, Insigne, I never know how to say his name. Catidali, Verratti, of course, key man. Not really a defensive midfielder, but I guess if you want. Sorry about that. 2. De Chilio, Bonucci, Rugani, Darmian. Alright, I'd say fair amount of talent there. No one too much to worry about, but then again, there's no one on our team that they would assume to worry about, but maybe we can. So I think I'll go with the supporters thing. Not too much pressure. We can't keep telling them that, perform the same way you performed the last game. We get a bit repetitive. And we did use that in the 2 last games that we played in a row. So let's make it about the supporters. We're at Wembley. We're not the favourites. We're in the final. Just go out and have some fun and see what can happen. So, but the first thing Shaw does, of course, since coming back from that suspension, is to just lose the ball. But either way, I'm not getting too many highlights here in the beginning stages of the game. And it looks like Italy have really pulled away. So I'm going to give it a little bit more, see if we can even it out. But I think we have to go into control. they're playing 4-2-4. We really should dominate possession and the middle of the pitch, but it looks like we're getting a highlight just before they make that tactical change. So hopefully I don't regret it. But come on, you can deal with this. There's men in front of him. Stop that long range shot. Good God, you've got 4 midfielders, a defensive midfielder in particular, and you still couldn't stop a long range shot from outside of the box. But either way, that's even more reason for us to go into control, and that's exactly what we've done. We're going to get a nice little view of this here, but it could have been stopped twice, both these little areas here. And then over here, Dyer's covering for... Where's Dyer? Where are you? Is that him there? I thought he was coming in between the centre backs. So instead Dyer's there. It's really slow coming across. Considering that Henderson was there and so is Lallana, he has no need to be in this area of the pitch. And for that we suffer, and Hart can't do anything about that from an incredible shot from out of the box. 90 again, like I say, the 90 part of that goal, the angle. Hart's never going to save that, ever. But yeah, our midfield's exhausted, to be fair to them. Henderson, Lallana, Lingard already all in their 60s, despite that, starting off on 80, I guess. And we're only at half time as well. But yeah, I think I'll move Rashford and Deeney and see if that will help a little bit. I think this time I get to tell my players off. I think that's fair enough. Last episode I did show you when you can tell your players off and when you shouldn't. So we have performed horribly. And we are losing as well. So hopefully the control helped the stats a bit, and hopefully we did create a half chance. And again, hopefully we will actually improve in that area. So can we get the equalizer before Italy hurt us again? They knocked us out of the World Cup. Are they going to knock us out of the Euros as well? Then again, finishing runners-up is not the end of the world. But we do want to win this game, don't we? So let's see if we can do that. Both our strikers having a horrible game. That's incredibly disappointing to see. They are facing 2 centre-backs and 2 defensive midfielders at the same time, to be fair to them. Shaw's on a yellow. Normally I wouldn't really give him a warning, but this time I have to, considering what happened last time that happened. And let's make some substitutions, some very key substitutions. So I think what I'll do is... Okay, now I have to pick. Do I go for someone who's less fit in conditioning, or do I take off someone who's had a worse game? I think Rashford will make the difference for us though, so I think I'll just take off Deeney for Kane and hope the best from Rashford. Lingard, we can take him off for Ward-Prowse, and let's bring on Dele Alli. We saved you for this moment. You're in horrible conditioning and fitness, sharpness, match sharpness. Probably definitely going to regret this, but I want to see if you can vindicate or validate my decision to actually bring you into the Euro Cup after all this time. So there's a lot of other players that are tired. Shaw, for some strange reason, is on 69% despite missing the last game entirely. He should be the fittest player on the pitch, fitter than Joe Hart as well, if you ask me. But yeah, he's struggling for fitness himself, and looks like Control hasn't done too much for us in the sense of improving our stats, I suppose. Dyer's on a yellow. I have to warn him just in case we go into overtime. And yeah, let's see if we can finally get a highlight our way. I mean, this is a bit surprising that we, considering how we played against Germany. Was it the initial team talk? Are my players just not playing well? Are Italy fired up? It's a mix of things, I suppose, but it'd be a bit disappointing to go out this way. At least if we lose knowing that we fight it, I can accept that. But we haven't really fought for this result at all today. At Wembley as well, in front of our own fans. Are my players feeling the nerves? So let's check actually. You can see it here. Yeah, there are a couple of players feeling nervous. And I'm going to go into overload here and be an idiot and risk Italy. Well, actually Italy have gone into defensive formation, so it makes more sense for us to go into overload. And let me see if I can encourage my players in any sense of form. Push forward. Come on. Don't go out like... Okay, you're going out like this. Great. That's disappointing. Italy win 1-0 at Wembley, and we get knocked out of the Euros finals. I was hoping we'd somehow win that, considering we got here as underdogs. Fair enough to my players. I guess the fitness just caught up eventually. So yeah, learn from my mistake, people. Do not pick someone who won't be fit for the tournament. If he's not making it in the group stages, he's gonna be shit in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals and the finals, because he really won't have the fitness for it. But either way, not a horrible way to go out, I suppose, and runners-up is better than nothing. John Stones was our player of the match for us anyways, and I guess that's it. That's the end of the Euros, so we have to look forward to the World Cup now. And let me show you what the board think of me. They think I'm some kind of god, really. Competition has dropped now as well, actually. They were a lot more happier. There you go. This was actually on 100%. Now it's 75% because we didn't win the Euro. I don't know what the hell they expected. I don't know why it's so flimsy. And this was actually on like 95 or something. But either way, they're very happy for me to stay on, basically. So it looks like I'll be around for a while longer. And let's see what they made of that. Let's go here. Oh, we weren't the biggest I guess Austria were. They reached the semi-finals, to be fair to them. We only went 2 steps further. They probably went like 5 steps further than their expectations. So yeah, the Football Association, delighted the team reached the final. Impressed with the management of the national side. Believe that the team's performance have enthralled the entire nation. Fair enough, I guess that's a decent assessment. So, of course, the expectations for the World Cup qualifying is to qualify from the group stage. That's expected. And I'll be interested to see how we can do in the second edition of the World Cup. For us anyways, for me, as you know, me being in charge. Then again, I might actually consider not continuing this series at all. I'm very tempted to move elsewhere and do something else. Playing against the likes of Czech Republic and Portugal in a fantasy tournament, I suppose, the European League division. I'm not really looking forward to that. I might not even show you that at all. I'm not even sure. I guess I have some thinking to do, basically, on the back of that defeat. Whether I want to continue with England or not. It's been 4 years. We got knocked out of the first World Cup. We got knocked out of the Euros. Did we even get the Euros? No, it was the World Cup and this Euros. So we were knocked out of 2 tournaments. Performed okay in the World Cup, and we performed above expectations in this Euros. Got another World Cup would actually, you know, I guess set us straight. You know, we can actually see if the team's developed. 4 years isn't too much, but look at the team. I mean, it's really falling apart from once I first had it. English players are just not playing enough for their clubs. This is it. This is our team here. Look at that. We've got 16 players who are 3 stars. A lot of these, by the way, change all the time, just so you know. And a lot of these players, when I call them up, their rating drops. A lot of our team is actually made up of 2.5 star players. For example, Will Hughes is playing for Everton, and he must have had. Let's actually have a look. Oh, he made 22 appearances. Oh, that's okay. I guess that's poor on me. Maybe a lot of those appearances were for under 23s though, because I remember I never called him up because of that. Either way, he's considered the first team of Everton now, so I guess that'll change. But yeah, a lot of these youngsters are just not playing enough for the clubs. Yeah, a lot of players with potential, to be fair to England. Let's sort it out by potential, I'll show you. Look at that. If all of these players, if even half of these players actually meet the potential, we'd have a very exciting team. But the likelihood is they won't. Jerry is very interesting though. He is with Chelsea now. He's considered a hot prospect. A couple of clubs want him on loan. Stoke, where are you? You're in the Premier Division still. Hull, also in the Premier Division. So if you get some game time there, we can actually consider calling him up. But yeah, I guess the future always looks bright for England. It's about whether the players actually play for their teams. Michael Keane, for example, would have loved to have called him up. He's a much better option than Shawcross and, you know, Cook and whatnot, but we couldn't. A lot of these players have just disappointed me entirely. So I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll think about it and stick around for the next episode and possibly a new series. Either way, if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do hit the like button and subscribe for more daily Football Manager 2017 content. And as always, guys, thank you all for watching.